first full week. This morning, another sweeping action by President Trump as he remakes the federal government in his first full week in office.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Overnight, NBC News learning that the White House has ordered a freeze of federal aid starting at 5 p.m. today.
My administration has been moving with urgency and historic speed to reverse every single disaster of the Biden administration.
The new head of the government's budget office saying in an internal memo obtained by NBC News that the pause extends to, quote, all federal financial assistance and activities affected by President Trump's recent executive orders, including foreign aid, non-governmental organizations, DEI, woke gender ideology, and the Green New Deal. The memo says Social Security and Medicare will not be affected, and neither would payments directly from the government to individuals. But many Americans get federal funds on everything from loans to food aid to farm assistance indirectly, and it's unclear if those programs would be affected. The order says it's targeting the parts of the government that will be changed by President Trump's recent executive actions that could include everything from some efforts to lower prescription drug costs to clean energy jobs and programs. Congressional Democrats overnight saying the president's actions, quote, put the financial security of our families, our national security, and the success of our country at risk. The Trump administration argues the government needs to align with, quote, the will of the American people as expressed through presidential priorities.
We got rid of the woke crap.
It's part of a series of recent actions from President Trump, including executive orders on the military yesterday, focused on rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion, and recognitions of transgender service members. And he said building an Iron Dome-style missile defense system around the country.
We protect other countries, but we don't protect ourselves.
Peter, back to this freezing of federal aid.
Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh. Double honors at apostles, bishops, elders, a great millstone, and shalom to brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing. We have found that number 2 be delivered. All right. So as we have been noticing, Donald Trump has been signing an awful lot of executive orders. All right. And these executive orders are ultimately going to target one group of people. All right. And that's that's the children of Israel. You so-called Negro, West Indian, Latino, and Native Americans. All right. That's ultimately who these executive orders are being written for. All right. Now, it's nothing new to have a new sitting president to start signing and filling out executive orders. And the difference is now that now these executive orders are being signed right upon the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. Now we see the mass deportation that President Trump said he was going to do. And these devils is running around from city to city, going into schoolhouses and so on and so forth, doing just that, right? And in the midst of that, you have a lot of people making, parody videos about, ICE coming to their neighborhood and what would they do, and and really having a good time with this shit. All right? Little do you know, this shit's going to change lives, man. Trump is really about to change a lot of people's lives for the worse. All right? And Jake don't take shit serious. Jake does not take it serious. And this is why you're seeing all these parody, memes and videos popping up, because it's fun and games. It's all fun and games till somebody gets hurt. All right? So what I want to do real quick is get into executive orders and what an executive order is. All right? So this is from a site called American Bar, ABA. And I'm going to jump down here. It says, what is and what isn't. This is concerning executive orders. Now I'll read a little bit. It says, an executive order is a signed, written, and published directive from the President of the United States that manage operations of the federal government. They are numbered consecutively, so executive orders may be referred by their assigned number or their topic. Other presidential documents are sometimes similar to executive orders in their format, formality, and issue, but have different purposes. Proclamations, which are also signed and numbered consecutively, communicate information. Give me 1 second. All right. Communicate information on holidays, ceremonials, federal observations, federal observance, and trade. Administrative orders, e.g., memos, notice, letters, messages, are not numbered but are still signed and are used to manage administrative matters of the federal government. All three types of presidential documents, executive orders, proclamations, certain administrative orders, are published in the Federal Register Daily Journal of the federal government that is published to inform the public about federal regulations and actions. They are also cataloged by the National Archive as official documents produced by the federal government. Both executive orders and proclamations have the force of law. Much like regulations issued by federal agencies, so they are all codified under Title III of the Code of Federal Regulations, which is the formal collection of all of the rules and regulations issued by the executive branch of the federal agencies. Executive orders are not legislation. They are required no approval from Congress, and Congress cannot simply overturn them. Congress may pass legislation that may make it difficult to even or impossible to carry out the order, such as removing funding. Only a sitting president may overturn an existing executive order by issuing another executive order to that effect. All right, but the key point here is where are we? That to carry out an order such as removing funding. And now that's the key point I want to speak about, the removing of funding. All right. Now, the video you just watched, though it brief, is a video concerning what Donald Trump is now starting to put into place. All right. Your federal funding, housing, food stamps, any type of assistance and aid that comes through the federal government, he now wants to put on freeze. All right. Now, not knowing how long this is going to take or how long it's going to be, but if you think about it, at some point in time, they got to start, segueing into this transition from cash to the MOTB. All right. And once you start, restricting funding, eliminating funding, freezing funding, once you start doing these type of measures, it'll make the people have to depend on you that much more. So if funding is frozen and they decide to implement a new system of pay, if you will, /MOTB, what's going to happen? The people are going to be in a position where they have no choice but to take it, because of all these perks that you're getting from the federal government, whether it be Section 8, whether it be housing, whether it be food stamps, whether it be any type of loan or grant or government assistance, federal government assistance. All right. So this is what it's coming down to. Donald Trump is really making good on his word, and rightfully so. This thing gotta get popping, man. We can't sit in a holding pattern forever. The time is short and things are starting to move. All right. Isaiah 10:1, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, in that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Right. Any executive order that's put on the books, all right, to a person of understanding and wisdom and knowledge, it's wicked. All right. And this is why they continually make it so that only a sitting president has the ability to replace or remove an executive order. You know, one president may put something in order, but the next president might say, you know what, that's not wicked enough for us. We gotta go a little deeper with it. All right. So again, it's outside of Congress's hands. So anything that you see that these devils put into place, you know, through their writings and through their legislation or through their executive orders, it's all unrighteous, man. All of it. And for you Israelites out there who continually want to make fun and have fun with this, you're gonna find out the hard way. When you can't get any goddamn food and you don't have no way to provide, then shit's gonna get serious. Right? Then it's gonna get serious. This is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. All right. So any president that has come into this country, you know, whether it be Donald Trump, George Washington, you know, Carver, Hoover, whoever, they have all been set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And they all have a specific purpose that they all have to fulfill. All right. So every sitting president, don't look at it as just somebody that passed through. You know, George Bush Sr. only served one term, but his term was very effective, in which the devising of this new world order was also set in place, man. So there was something that he did within the 4 years that was furthering this so-called pushing of the new world order. All right. Then when your boy Clinton got in office, and so on and so forth. And here we are, 2025. Now Donald Trump is back in office. All right. Now he's about to start performing all types of, you know, wickedness on the left-hand side. And look what he's doing. Look what he's done so far. He's taken so-called immigrants, illegal aliens, if you will, put them on these big-ass planes. Now we, you know, flying them all over the world, getting rid of them. You know, this was once to be told as the land of the free and the home of the brave. There's nothing free about a man who's working at a factory and ICE agents come up in there and hem him up, put him in cuffs and put him on a plane and send him out somewhere. There's nothing free about that. All right. This country was not meant and set up for the freedom of the children of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Western Native Americans, West Indians. All right. This was not set up for you and to be free and to be joyful. And this is why it's reverting right back to, you know, you niggas be put in a box, if you will, restricted, limited. All right. So don't think that just for, you know, the voting process put Donald Trump back in office. That voting process had nothing to do with shit. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai put him in office so he can rule. Right? Psalms 58:1. Let me open that one up. It says, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. And what do we have? Donald Trump talking about building the Iron Dome. Why? Because he's about to start weighing the violence, okay, of his hands in the earth. Talking about putting sanction on all these countries if they don't abide. Putting these other nations in a position of difficulty, if you will. If you don't choose the way Donald Trump wants to roll, then you're going to be sanctioned. You're going to be cut off. All right? But again, this was the task that Donald Trump was appointed for. All right? Verse 3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. All right? So there's going to be no understanding in these men. There's going to be no understanding when it comes time to, sitting down for war. It's going to be either America's way through the means of Donald Trump or bombs, which is fine with us, which is A-OK. Because again, you poke the bear too many times, the bear's going to get up and get on your ass. And these nations are going to do just that, with Russia leading that charge. And this is why these nations are going to come against thee and burn her with fire. Okay? So this is the point that we're at, man. So all these things that Donald Trump is doing, it must be done through means of these executive orders, these unrighteous decrees. Beautiful time to be living, man. Right now. Beautiful time to be living. Because now we're going to see all these things that many, prophets and seers and men of the Lord had desired to see, man. And we're going to continue to prophesy about these things and warn you people, right? Until the Lord seals it up and destroys it. Revelation 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. All right? For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Esau Edom is that devil whom the Lord has set up, and he is going to be the one that's coming down having great wrath. But that great wrath is primarily for the children of Israel. All right? Just look at the spirit that's out there right now. That spirit that's out there in America is a spirit that brings you back to, the 1800s, the early 1900s, when slavery was at an all-time high. When the so-called black man and any other, North American Indian, they were over here, was getting totally annihilated, man. And this is the term where they have dubbed, Make America Great Again. They're trying to turn back the page to that point in time where all you nations, all you Israelites, all you tribes, I should say, were in some type of subjection. I'm telling you, man, you watch. When this shit starts really getting fired up, you watch that. You watch how the civil unrest and the race wars really take off, man. You can't forget about that. We cannot forget about these nations come up against each other. These nations of people, I should say, within this country. All right? But again, it says, for the devils come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right? We can continue reading these scriptures over and over until they be fulfilled. And it must needs that these scriptures be read over and over till they become fulfilled. And that's what a watchman does. He continually blows the trumpet. He continually gives the warning to the people. Yep, it may sound redundant. It may, it may be like, we're tired of hearing it. But the day will come. That day is going to come when you're going to wish you took heed to it. Because you heard it long enough. Alright? These devils got a surprise for your ass, man. 2nd Ezra 8:50. It says, for many great miseries. Alright? Matter of fact, let's go to the basic Bible dictionary and look up that word misery. It says, misery is a noun that means a state of great suffering, unhappiness, or want. It can also refer to the cause of such a state. All right? A state of great suffering and want due to poverty or misfortune, a source of misery, a state of unhappiness, a feeling of intense unhappiness, a lack of prosperity or unhappiness, health. Synonyms: agony, distress, suffering, desolate, torment, woe, anguish, and grief. All right? So that's that word misery, man. For many great miseries are coming upon. Listen, what do you see? What do you think is going on in this kingdom right now? People are trembling. Why? Because they understand that this shit that's going down right now is going to cause suffering, miseries, anguish, stress. And you people truly ain't ready for it. You truly are not ready for what's about to go down, man. From the top. For many great miseries shall be done unto them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Right? Because they have walked in great pride. Now, ultimately, when the MOTB is fully implemented, it's going to affect the whole world. People are going to go against their morals. They're going to go against their beliefs. All these things are coming, man. And if you haven't been warned, and if you haven't taken heed, and if you think that this is just going to be another thing that's going to pass by and everything's going to get back to normal, or the thought of we just got to go another 4 years and he'll be out of there, ain't going to play out like that, my man. Sorry. All right? The time is at hand. Where all these things that we have been prophesying about from the head apostles on down are now coming to pass. For the devil is going to come down onto you having great wrath because he knoweth he got but a short time. All right? And that short time is now, the clock is now ticking. That short time clock is ticking. All right? All right, so Lord willing, I'm going to hit y'all with another one. I'm going to say shalom for now.